How's it going, guys? Of course, I hope you guys are having a great week. So it is that time of the month again, guys. It is time to talk about the top 8 game releases coming out in June 2020. So without further ado, let's get to it, shall we? Number 1, Valorant. So this is a free-to-play first-person tactical shooter from the creators of League of Legends, Riot Games. It is their first new IP since League of Legends, so suffice it to say, there's a lot of interest in this title. This game combines elements of Overwatch, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and League of Legends. It's a mixed match of everything. It is a 5v5 multiplayer first-person shooter where one team attacks and the other defends. Similar to CSGO's Diffuse game mode, the main game mode in Valorant involves the attacking team's goal, which is to plant a bomb called a spike, and they have to detonate this while the defending team tries to stop that happening. Matches are roughly about 25 rounds long, with each round lasting about 100 seconds, and the first team to win 13 rounds actually wins the match overall. From what I hear about the game, some of these matches can definitely go back and forth and can last quite a long time. At the beginning of the round, you have 30 seconds to buy weapons and gear for that round, and if you die, you'll have to wait until the next round to actually respawn. In addition to buying weapons at the beginning of a round, you will also be able to choose an agent, and each agent will have their own abilities, ranging from healing allies to making walls appear out of nowhere. In this way, it is very much like Overwatch, particularly in terms of the art style as well. Riot have also confirmed that Valorant will have something like a battle pass in-game. So a lot of people are definitely interested in Valiant, and if this is going to be Riot Games' next big thing, and with it being a free-to-play game, it certainly is worth jumping in, and it will come out on the 2nd of June and will be available for the time being exclusively on PC. Number 2, Command & Conquer Remastered Collection. So this is developed by Lemon Sky Studios in conjunction with Petroglyph Games, and several people from the original Westwood Studios team have actually been involved in its development. It is a remaster of the 90s classic Command & Conquer, which is probably considered to be the grandfather of the real-time strategy game genre. Developed alongside the incredibly passionate Command & Conquer community, the Command & Conquer Remastered Collection delivers 4K graphics, but it will give you the option to play in the old school original graphics as well as a completely rebuilt multiplayer, enhanced UI, and improvements on different Game of Life features, a completely remastered legendary soundtrack, and it will also include remastered versions of Command & Conquer Tiberian Dawn and Command & Conquer Red Alert, including the 3 expansion packs that came with those games as well. If you are a fan of the original Command & Conquer, then this looks like a very, very good pick for you. You can either play it with the new lovely shiny 4K graphics, and if you've never played the original Command & Conquer, it's a really, really good real-time strategy game, and I highly recommend it. For those of you that are interested, Command & Conquer Remastered Collection will be available on the 5th of June and will be available exclusively on the PC. Number 3, Beyond Blue. This game is developed and published by E-Line Media. It is a single-player narrative adventure. Beyond Blue takes players into the near future, where they will have the opportunity to explore the mysteries of our ocean through the eyes of Mirai, a deep-sea explorer and scientist. She and her newly formed research team will use groundbreaking technologies to see, hear, and interact with the ocean, including the wildlife that lives in the ocean as well. So there will be whales, sharks, dolphins, and other things to explore. The game features an evocative narrative and exploration of an untouched world. The developers themselves actually partnered with BBC Studios, specifically the team that worked on Blue Planet 2, as well as some of science's leading ocean experts, to craft an experience that really does reflect the awesome wonder and mystery of our oceans. It looks really interesting, and if you're a fan of these kind of really relaxed exploration kind of games, and this might be something that you might find interesting. And you know what, it might be quite educational as well, and I can imagine you'd learn a lot about our oceans and how they work. So it looks really cool. Beyond Blue, for those interested, will be coming out on the 8th of June and will be available on the PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Number 4, Project Warlock. So this is a single player first person shooter developed by Polish-German studio Bookshot Software. It's actually most notable for being created by 18-year-old Jakub Sislo, who actually developed the game when he was still in high school, which is pretty impressive. The main protagonist is an unnamed warlock who can wield both conventional weapons and magical spells. Players will explore levels battling various enemies and bosses while seeking keys to progress through the level, power-ups and loot. Project Warlock, it definitely takes its inspiration from classic 90s shooters like Blood, Heretic and Doom, and you can see that in the level design as well as the visual style of the game as well. If you are looking for a game that's going to scratch that retro itch, then definitely Project Warlock might be an interesting pickup for you, and it will be available on the 9th of June on the PlayStation 4. It will then come out on the 11th of June on the Nintendo Switch and the 12th of June on the Xbox One. Why they decided to stagger that release is completely baffling to me, but that is when the game will be coming out. Number 5, Disintegration. So this game is developed by V1 Interactive and published by Private Division. It's actually a new sci-fi first-person shooter from the co-creator of Halo. This game is a weird melding of first-person shooter elements as well as real-time strategy elements in a post-apocalyptic sci-fi battleground. The game will have a full story campaign which will last roughly 12 to 15 hours. The setting of the game sounds really interesting. After Earth's resources have been used up and the planet is becoming increasingly unlivable, humans have begun to voluntarily transfer their brain into robotic bodies, a process called integration. Disintegration's campaign stars an integrated former TV host named Roma, who leads a grassroots resistance against Rayon, a military outfit of zealots bent on annihilating any humans who deny integration. Apart from having a really interesting single-player campaign, the game will also offer multiplayer as well. The gameplay sounds interesting. It matches player-controlled pilots in airborne grab cycles with AI soldiers fighting it out on the ground. Each player commands their own crew of AI soldiers while duking it out with other pilots. Disintegration matches will be a typical 5v5 match, and we've only seen really the capture the flag style retrieval mode in action, but V1 have also said that they do have plans for a team deathmatch and a zone capture mode as well at launch. It is the single player side of the story that I'm really interested in. I like the concept, I like the visual style, and I think the gameplay sounds fascinating, this melding of first person shooter with real-time strategy. So it'll be interesting to see how that all works and how that actually plays out. Disintegration is releasing on the 16th of June and it will be available on the PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Number 6, Desperados III. So this is developed by Mimi Productions, that's hard to say, and published by THQ Nordic. Desperados 3 is actually a prequel to the 2001 original. Desperados 3 is a story-driven, hardcore, tactical stealth game set in the ruthless Wild Wild West. The main setting involves John Cooper, who will join forces with the runaway bride Kate, the shady hitman Doc McCoy, the giant trapper Hector, and Isabel, a mysterious lady from New Orleans. On Cooper's quest for redemption, his adventures lead him and his gang from rural towns over swamps and riverbanks, and finally to a dramatic showdown worthy of the Wild West. The emphasis on this game is really on tactical gameplay. You can play 5 unique characters, each with their own particular set of skills. The tactical gameplay is what looks really good with this title. I never actually got to play any of the original Desperados game, but the idea of a tactical stealth game set in the Wild West sounds really fun, and it is definitely a game that I would be interested to jump in on. Desperados 3 comes out on the 16th of June and it will be available on the PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Number 7, Last of Us Part 2. Of course, this is the big title coming out this month. This game is developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It has been 7 years since the original Last of Us, which came out back in 2013, which at the time was considered and still is considered by many to be a masterpiece of a game and one of the best titles that came out last generation, and in fact one of the best games that Naughty Dog has ever produced. It is a horror action style game. The Last of Us Part 2 actually continues on the story of Joel and Ellie and takes place 5 years after the events of the first game. It stars a 19-year-old Ellie, and she and Joel have settled down in Wyoming and found relative peace in a small community. Of course, in typical Last of Us style, something terrible happens. It's not clear what this event is, although my best guess is the settlement is attacked, something along those lines. But whatever happens, it leaves Ellie furious and hungry for revenge. Naughty Dog have said that this game is about hatred, so we would expect the game to be quite dark. Of course, this is a Last of Us game, guys, so don't worry, there will be more infected. We can expect to see clickers, we can expect to see runners, but according to Naughty Dog, there will also be quite a number of new infected introduced into the game. We have heard about one particular new infected called the Shambler, and this is a large brute with thick fungus acting like armor plating, who is pretty tough to take down and will spray you in acidic fungal clouds. It sounds horrifying. He looks disgusting, and yeah, just the thought of other bigger, worse clickers has me both nervous and excited at the same time. There are some new gameplay elements that I really love the look of. Obviously, playing as Ellie as the main protagonist, you are going to be a lot more maneuverable, so Ellie has the new ability to jump as well as dodging incoming attacks, and there are more stealth options, including things like going prone. The Last of Us Part 2 for me is the game I'm really interested in this month, and I will definitely be playing it. I will definitely be reviewing this game. So The Last of Us Part 2 comes out on the 19th of June and it will be available on the PlayStation 4. And finally, the 8th game coming out in June is Ninjala. This is developed and published by Gung Ho. It is an online action melee. It's a free-to-play battler game coming soon to the Nintendo Switch. The game actually takes place in a fictional cartoon world with very similar art style to the Splatoon series. In the game, the World Ninja Association has developed a chewing gum called Ninja Gum that can bring the strength of long dormant ninjas to the forefront. Who makes up this stuff? Unfortunately, the Ninja Gum has a strange side effect. An adult that uses it actually turns into a child, which is why the character designs are very childlike in design. The game's actually really fun. I got to play it in early beta access. There is an 8-player battle royale mode and a 4v4 team battle mode as well. In both modes, players can choose one of the playable ninja characters, customize their looks and style, and enter the battle. It's really fun. I really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely going to be picking it up, especially because it's a free-to-play game. So it's definitely worth jumping in and checking it out. Ninjala will be available on the 24th of June and will be available exclusively on the Nintendo Switch. So there you have it, guys. Those are the top 8 game releases coming out in June 2020. Let me know what you guys think of these games in the comment section below. Are there any games that you're really looking forward to and really excited to play? Which games will you definitely be playing this month? Let me know in the comment section below. If I missed anything out that you think is worth mentioning, then please also drop that in the comment section below as well. If you enjoyed the video, of course, please hit the like button as always to show your support. Hope you guys are having a great week anyway. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. Bye, guys.